Hey, welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is Questions, Coffee, and Cars 190. 10 to go, Andrea, and then we hit 200.
Hard to believe we've done so many of them. They go by quickly.
All right, so if you want to get a question, and maybe for number 200, how would you do that?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put out a post asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
What have you heard about Mazda's upcoming hybrid system that's coming in the new CX-5? Will it still borrow tech, even if a small amount, from Toyota?
Well, we've heard that it's not going to be the same as a CX-50.
Yeah, Car and Driver is actually reporting. They said that they got confirmation from Mazda, but we haven't received any confirmation that this is going to be their own hybrid system developed by Mazda. It will not use a third party like the Toyota hybrid system that's in the CX-50.
Is it going to go as swimmingly well as the CX-90 and CX-70 launch? I hope it goes better than that because those PHEVs anyway were not seamless. I'm guessing it's going to be a variation of that. So they have the gas engine, they have a multi-clutch pack instead of a torque converter, and then they have electrification in the form of the PHEV. So how they're going to implement all that, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, it is a hybrid. It's not going to be a plug-in hybrid, so we will see what happens there. But I'm super excited about the launch of the Mazda CX-5. The global debut will be on July 10th. So check back because we're going to have some information on that. But this is going to be a huge one. Huge for Mazda.
Huge. It's going to be huge. So if you want to find out all about that new CX-5 when it drops on June 10th, what would be the easiest way to find out?
You've got to subscribe and you have to hit that notification bell because then you'll be notified every time our videos drop and then you can watch them.
I'm not sure if you've heard, the summer sale for subscriptions is still underway. And they're free. They're free this summer. Okay, so take advantage.
And you know what? That summer sale has been so popular. It's been very successful. 2026 Passport looks awesome. Will there be a hybrid option? If not, which other hybrid equivalent to Passport are you looking forward to for 2026 model year?
Well, there's not going to be a hybrid initially. Honda has said they are working on a hybrid system for larger vehicles, and that is going to be in the works, I think, by 2027.
Yes.
So you've got to think that's a 26 model. So it could be a year and a half away. That would definitely help because there's a lot of people like the idea of having a bigger vehicle also hybridized, but then there's a whole other camp of people who just like the V6. But competitors to that, I would guess, would be Palisade and Telluride, right?
And Telluride, yeah. Well, not a hybrid. Palisade has a hybrid, but nothing from Telluride
Yeah, but
yet.
it will.
But it will come. I mean, you could also go Grand Highlander hybrid. The thing is about Honda, they are definitely late coming in with a hybrid for a larger vehicle, but we did see that Honda announced that they're going to produce a hybrid for their larger vehicles that offer more power and more towing capacity, which they need because people are used to that 5,000 pounds of towing in the Passport and the Pilot. I look forward to it. As for the Acura side, they are revisiting it. They're monitoring the market. We've talked to Acura
Andrea,
and Honda and said you need more hybrids.
I'm monitoring the market. Yeah, people want hybrids.
They want hybrids.
So the two Koreans are going to come because of whatever Palisade gets, Kia will get with Telluride. They're going to be coming soon. So probably that's your best bet outside of Grand Highlander.
And some of you have been asking about Telluride. When is it coming? There's some spy shots online. Some think it's coming in the fall. It is not coming in the fall. We would already know about it if it was coming in the fall. So I'm thinking end of this year,
Spring,
maybe
probably.
an announcement. Maybe they'll actually have a physical Telluride for us to look at. I don't know. Or maybe beginning of next year.
Could be LA Auto Show.
Maybe,
That's in
yeah.
November, and that would be a perfect time to show it, and then it released in the spring.
I really want a Subaru Forester. The all-wheel drive makes me feel safe in Calgary winters, but the engine is underpowered and the hybrid has no spare, a deal breaker. You seem to really like the VW Tiguan, and especially with the turbo coming, wondering what their all-wheel drive system would be like on packed ice, or if you can recommend a similar vehicle that would make me feel as safe. Well, you know, all of these all-wheel drive systems are very good, and Volkswagen's all-wheel drive system does the same as many others, monitors the road conditions ahead to provide better traction depending on what you're dealing with. But if you hit ice, even a great set of winter tires, you're going to slide.
Yeah, but the tires are going to be your first line of defense. So number one thing in driving in the winter, get good tires. So they use what's called a Torsen system, which is a front wheel bias all-wheel drive system. And then they have a pack, like a clutch pack that activates the differential at the rear. Once you have it engaged, or it's fully engaged, it is very, very good. We did a winter driving program years ago with the Golf, the MQB platform, using that system, and they showcased all of the different cars, and they were very capable in the winter. So that's a slightly different platform, but the same principles apply. So number one thing, buy good winter tires. And if you're worried about ice, I'm not sure what the rules are for Calgary, but you could go studded tires. That's your ultimate defense.
What do you guys feel about the CX-5 staying while the other single-digit CXs are getting phased out? It being the bestseller probably helps, but do you think it's going to be renamed as CX-40 in order to maintain the new double-digit naming order of Mazda vehicles? No, they're going with the CX-5. It is an odd choice considering they are doing that, you know, CX-70, CX-90, but CX-30. But they're sticking with CX-5. That's a big nameplate for them, and you're right. It is their number one seller.
Number one seller. So if that's the case, why don't you build the nomenclature around that? They used to have the CX-9, right? You could have had the CX-7. You could have had the CX-55 if you wanted to call the CX-50 something different, or the CX-6. So they could have come up with different versions of it. So why they have, like you said, two with two numbers and this with one, I don't know. You know
but
what?
why do the CX-30 in the first place?
Yeah, the
Like
CX-3.
why even come out with the CX-30?
They should have called it the CX-3. I don't get it. You know what? I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name. There was one guy that moved around from company to company, and all he did were change the names.
Oh,
Infiniti.
really?
They got rid of all the names for Infiniti. Remember they had the G70. What was the little sedan? Yeah, the little sedan and coupe. And then he came in with all the QX. For Infiniti. Then he went to Cadillac and he named them all different names and numbers. He's just been a train wreck through the industry bringing all these numbers. And then you have Mazda, back to them, who bring out vehicles that are so close to Volvo.
Oh man,
There's the CX-90 and the XC90. Do you think we mix that? Well, I do.
Yeah, but there has been an occasion where when we're doing a Volvo video or we're doing a Mazda video, we don't even, we watch these videos over as proof reading or proof watching.
I edit them, so I'm editing it. I don't notice, and then Andrea comes and proofs it.
Then we proof it, and we still miss it. And it's you guys as the viewer that says, oh, by the way, you said XC or you said CX. And we're like, we did? It's just such a habit. You know, when you're doing these vehicles. We first settled on the Chevrolet Equinox, but my wife didn't like it, so we started looking at something else. We liked the Toyota Corolla Cross and are now interested in the new 2026 Chevrolet Bolt because of the upgrades. So my question has two parts. Do you anticipate being able to review the 2026 Bolt? Looks like they may have made some nice improvements. Also, I'm confused as to whether or not the U.S. federal rebates are still in effect.
Okay, so the Bolt hasn't officially been announced. So I'm not sure. You're looking at spy pictures, speculation, but there's nothing official has come from them.
And the Bolt is not coming until 2027. It's going to be a 2027 model year. So...
Well, I heard it's going to come this fall. They're going to show it this fall. Probably same thing. LA Auto Show would be a perfect
Maybe.
example of when they would do that. I can't wait to see what they do with the pricing because the previous one was so well priced. And I think that they're going to have some nice updates to it. But yeah, as soon as it's available, we'll drive it.
For sure. So 2027 model year, it's supposed to be coming. And then as for the tax credits, well, you've got Trump with his, what are they calling it? The big beautiful bill?
The beautiful big bill, something like that.
So it hasn't been passed yet, but within that bill, I think it's like 1,000 pages, he plans to eliminate that rebate.
I think it's Jan 1 it's supposed to start.
Well, it
Jan
just says
1.
it's going to be eliminated once it passes. Now, what it did say is that 2026 model, what was it? It said there is an exception. In 2026, only EVs from manufacturers that have sold fewer than 200,000 qualifying vehicles since 2020 would remain eligible. But brands like GM, the tax credits would disappear.
Yeah, they're gone for Tesla, gone for GM. I'm not sure if Rivian's hit 200,000. They would be probably pretty close. Any other small boutique like Lucid probably would qualify.
Yeah.
But that's crazy because those things are so expensive. But the bigger one is rolling back California's regulations around their ZEV mandate is apparently happening January 1. So there's a lot of moving parts. Trump has said that the credits are going and the ZEV mandates are going to go.
So just to clarify, that 2027 Bolt will not get a tax credit. Have you guys seen the video for China with the car going over speed bumps and hardly moving compared to the other cars that were rocking all over the place? What are your thoughts? So that was the, what is it, Nio EV9?
Yeah, Nio has some really cool designs. And you know what? This technology, you know the ones
Check
who...
ET9.
ET9. Call home.
ET. Love that movie.
Do you know the first company to do the adaptive suspension was Bose? And I believe it was with Lexus or Toyota. They had the Bose it was like a frequency thing they did with the suspension. But all of that stuff can be done. Mercedes-Benz has that with the road preview where it softens the suspension just as you go. So yeah, it's all cool stuff. That's the thing that the
impressive,
Chinese...
actually. I thought that video, that car just did not move, and then the BMW came after and it was rocking back and forth.
Yeah, but they didn't show maybe a BMW or Mercedes that also has a road preview system. It's pretty easy to do that. By the way, we've got this technology and we'll just put one through that doesn't have anything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it does say that I looked at the website.
You read Chinese?
It has, no, it's all in English.
Okay.
It has Skyride full active suspension and it adjusts the stiffness, damping, and height, ensuring a stable ride and great body control. But it's hard to know by the video. It looks impressive for sure, but what about the other vehicles coming from behind? What are in them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just regular springs and shocks.
Yeah. Any news on future updates, refreshes, or changes for the Lexus RX or NX?
Everybody, I think this is the second or third time people have asked this.
I
The car's
know.
only been out for like 2 years. The RX, right?
The
2
RX.
years?
I also asked Toyota about it, and they said that they're not going to tell me, but the press release, if there are any changes, will probably go out in the fall.
I don't think there's going to be anything until probably next year for the following model. We're going to be in the company of the director of Lexus Canada.
We are. We can ask him.
We'll put the
grill him.
squeeze on him. Make sure he's got a glass of wine in him, and then we'll ask him.
I think we should.
He's so well trained, though. He knows how to. He'll smile.
They don't tell us a lot, even when we grill,
They're-
but we
they're-
do try.
They're well trained in their media training, these car company executives. But we'll ask.
Have you heard the rumors that the Venza is returning to North America with the 2027 Harrier redesign? I have a 2023 Venza and feel like the last revival did not get a fair shot in the market. Demand was very high and production seemed to be intentionally low. I would love a new plug-in option. In regards to demand, it did sell well in Canada, we've been told by Toyota, but in the US, actually wasn't a big seller.
It was the same with the original Venza. The original
Yeah.
Venza totally sold very well in Canada, and it didn't sell nearly as well
Mm.
in the United States, and that's when they got rid of that sort of station wagon one. This new one came back, but the reason why the Venza sells is because we have limited supply. They have more supply in the United States. People go, I'll just buy a RAV4.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Venza sold because maybe they had them on the lot, and people are like, I'll take that.
Yeah, and I know why you're asking this question because there's lots of rumors online about the Harrier design, but even if other markets are going to get this, I don't believe that they're bringing the Venza back, especially with the Toyota Crown Signia now in place. From what I understand, Venza is gone.
I would love to see the Crown Sport, the one we saw in Japan
Yes.
2 years ago. That thing is hot. It like from
Yeah.
the back, it looks like a Maserati design. It's really cool. So
I posted some pictures on Instagram a couple years ago on that. I was sitting in it and showed everyone, and the feedback was, "Oh, I wish that would come.
I wish
to
that would
North
come
America."
to North America.
Any road trips with Ruby planned for this summer?
Andrea, are there any road trips with Ruby planned this
I
summer?
haven't even thought about it, to be honest with you. First off, we're not at home a lot. And secondly, we've got so many vehicles that we're doing every week. Like we're doing
booked.
two a week. Maybe, but
Is
we
it time
haven't
to say
really
goodbye
thought
to Ruby
about
then? Are we
it.
going to get say goodbye to Ruby now?
No, I'm driving Ruby, or drove Ruby yesterday. I'm driving Ruby today when I go out. I got the top down. The weather is amazing here.
It's perfect Ruby weather.
Perfect temperature, not too hot. So Ruby's coming out, and I always get tons of compliments when I drive Ruby.
It's
I
funny.
love her.
When I drive Ruby, nobody says a word to me.
So if
I
we
think that's
do,
the pretty privilege there, Andrea.
if we do a road trip,
We'll let you
we'll
know.
let you know.
But you know what? The whole thing is if Andrea and I are doing a road trip, the last thing we want to do is work.
We do. We don't want to work and then video it and everything. And
'cause-
plus, if we go for a longer road trip, you've really
There's no
got to think
space.
about what you're packing, and then you've got your stuff that you're bringing, but you also have to bring all of your video equipment.
Do you know
so
what?
if we do go up to, like, say we do a quick trip to Whistler, let's
Mm-hmm.
just say Zach and I go, and we do a weekend away. You know, we want to stay and we want to hang by the pool.
Andrea has to have room for her new bikini she bought
I bought a new bikini
It looks very
yesterday
good.
because we're heading
to
to
Portugal.
Europe.
So the one thing
for a
I'd say,
drive event.
if Instagram would be where it would be posted with Ruby and the bikini.
In the bikini.
Right,
oh
Andrea?
my gosh. I bought a black bikini. I've
But
never
you can't,
owned a
Andrea,
black bikini
you
before.
can't talk about it unless you're willing to show a picture of it. So I guess we better stop talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you want to show a picture of it.
Zach wouldn't like me to show a picture
No,
of it.
that's none of your business.
So there you go.
That's my
You'd
business.
have to track us down at a pool.
Someone will be at the Fairmont in Whistler going, where's Drea? All right, so how do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I post us holding coffee, asking for questions.
No picture of Andrea in a bikini.
And once we gather the questions, the post is deleted and we start the show. Stay tuned for 200. What are we going to do? Are we going to do anything
And we
special?
should do it in Whistler.
Ooh, Whistler.